Holy crap, I have been busy, and this is my second time recording this episode. It is going to be a half episode because it's really just about bass progression and all that I did while I haven't been uploading anything. So this is after the fact that I've already worked on my hostile neural networks and everything like that. You'll see in the episode after this. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. I don't want to waste any time. All right, so first things first. I worked on my refined storage area, you know? I added the little desk, I added a crafting monitor, I have my normal blue crafting grid here, and then I also have a fluid grid, and below that I have a storage monitor, which I'm actually not sure how that works, but I included it in there. So that's pretty much all I did up here for the most part. I did add this awakening altar with the pedestals and stuff like that. I figured it wouldn't hurt. I have the normal altar and fusion altar over here, so I figured why not put the awakening one on the other side? Just add a little bit of more symmetry in here, as if it's not symmetry enough. I don't even know if I said that right. It sounded wrong for some reason. And then let me show you what I did below my storage room. And before I even go down there myself, I'm going to show you a little time lapse of me working on it. So this is what it looked like before, you know, there wasn't a whole lot going on. It was just kind of boring and just barely even dug out. And I was just kind of like, I actually, even though like people probably won't see this room that much, I'm probably going to be in it quite a bit because I plan on putting a whole bunch of different refined storage stuff in here. And I just decided that it'd be a really good idea to just go for it and make it look at least decent, you know? I'm not the greatest builder in the world, but I do like the build because it makes me better over time. So I just dug out this huge space, and then I went ahead and I added a like chipped quartz floor because I kind of wanted to add this I wanted to make it this like clean look of a room, so I'm using quartz for the most part and illuminant blocks for lighting. And on top of that, I just made a little platform surrounding the outside of the room, and that's where all my refined storage is going to go. But I added 4 walls of refined storage stuff. Scratch that. I'm going to show you. I added 3 walls of refined storage stuff and 1 wall of just crafting. This is all for stuff that doesn't really have anything more than just one recipe, and I figured why not, you know? I added some diamonds in here, so I have diamonds making, and a whole bunch of stuff. Obsidian, amethyst, these, what are they called? Power crystals. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Uraninite, redstone, netherite, aluminium, vibranium, unobtainium, all this stuff. Pretty much all this stuff that doesn't really have more than one recipe is going to go into these tier 3 crafters. And I wanted it to make... I didn't really need to make this many, but I think it actually kind of looks good. And then on top of that, I added 5 sections of what are these called? Disk drives. Yeah, 5 sections of these. I'm gonna have all the space I could ever need. I'm actually pretty satisfied with that. I also included this elite disk manipulator, so if I ever really need to transfer stuff from one disk to another, I can do that using this thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all that is. And then I have a whole wall of crafters, diamond crafters. Yes, it's kind of nuts. I figured I'd make them diamond because A, they're blue and it has that more like clean look to them and stuff, so it just matches with the room. And they're diamond because I don't need netherite crafters if I'm gonna have this many crafters. I have 2 separate crafters going into all the modium furnaces, so if I ever need to auto smelt something, that'll be easily done by putting patterns into the crafter pointing down into these furnaces, so there's that as well. And I figured I'd make these crafters come out like facing you, and I figured put a pattern grid in the middle. I also made a desk for this as well, just simple It's not too decorated or anything. It's all decored as much as it need to be. Like I said, I want this room to be clean looking, so it's just plain with the necessities. Speaking of necessities, we have network transmitters all up against this wall because I am going to have network receivers going through all over my base, and that's that, you know. I like how I put my controller in the center of the top, like on the ceiling, and basically when I go up, it's like I'm going into it. But yeah, that is the server room, I guess is what I'm gonna call it, because, you know, it's got a bunch of, you know, refined storage stuff, computer looking type stuff in there. So that's what I'm calling that room. The storage room, no, that's what this is. The server room. Also, I don't have any footage for this because I did it off camera. I worked on the hallways and I made use of a lot of framed blocks in these hallways, like the framed vertical stairs, for instance, the framed panels. And I went ahead and used illuminate cyan blocks to make this triangle shape like I have going on in the rest of my base. I figured it was very suiting and it does fit in well. I actually really like it, and I put a little painting at the end. So that actually ties into what I'm doing for each of my entrances to each of my rooms. So each of my rooms are going to basically act like portals. This one is going to go into my occultism. I'm going to have a little dungeon going this way. So I figured I'd just make it dark and creepy, kind of. And then this one is my magic room. So I just use the false weave blocks for this. I mean, I figured why not? I mean, what else am I going to use, you know? It's the magic room. And then I have my portal room. Hold on, let me try that again. Hold on. Just take my night vision goggles off here. Okay, all right, here we go. And we have my portal room. Yes. So yeah, there's not a whole lot going on here. It's actually pretty simple, but that's kind of what I wanted to go for. It's just a void-like room with just portals everywhere. And something that I actually found out is that you can make Ars Nouveau portals using source stone. And what I did was I went to the enchanting apparatus, crafted me up a warp scroll, and I used it on one of these portals. So you just place the warp scroll on top of the center of the source stone square that you have, and make sure you have like a source jar nearby because it consumes source when you do that. So I used this one to take me to the end. So I went to the end and shift right clicked on the ground in the end, and then boom. Now I have a portal to the end. So I'm going to do the same thing for the deeper and darker dimensions. Since you can't really move that portal, I'm going to do it right here. And then on top of that, I have my Everbright portal and my Everdawn portal. I was actually really happy that I was able to get them, although it was a pain in the butt. Obviously, every portal room's got to have a Twilight Forest portal. I mean, come on. How do we not? And on top of that, we have the Aether portal. Yes, an Aether dimension in ATM. I did not know that until recently, and I've never been to the Aether. I'm still fairly new to modded, so it's really cool that I was able to make this portal. And it's so simple to make too. You just need water and glowstone. My mining dimension to portal. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. And this last but not least, well, there's the Nether portal. Last but not least, the Stargate portal. I am very fascinated by this. I wasn't quite sure how these worked, but when I went and located one, I actually found this stone nearby. And if you right click on it, you can actually see in the bottom left-hand corner there, it gave me an address. And then I take that address, I go in here, and I input that address number by number, and then I press the center button and then it'll activate. I haven't been into it yet, but maybe I'll say that for a later episode. But that is pretty much my portal room. I'm actually super satisfied with that. I'm really happy that I turned this into a portal. Oh, speaking of, I have this portal. And this portal isn't even really a portal. It just takes you outside. I mean, do you get it? It's blue, like a light blue sky, Yeah, all right. We'll move on. All right, so we went across the way, and this is going to be my mystical agriculture room, and this is going to be my bee room. Maybe we'll get in the productive bees in a later episode as well. Before I show you this room, I want to show you the mob grinding room. Yeah. You like it? You like it? It's not creepy at all, right? It's not creepy at all. I mean, listen to it. Listen to the ground. Yeah, it doesn't sound gross at all. I mean, that's the whole point. So I basically, if you play All the Mods 9, or if you just use Biomes of Plenty in general, the flesh biome or the blood biome, I don't even know what to call it really, but the biome where it has these blocks and these like eye bulbs, I guess is what they call it, and these tendons, flesh tendons. It's so weird. And this is blood. This is blood right here. Yeah. So this is pretty much it, I changed the portals. Oh my gosh, my mind's still on the portal room. But I changed the spawners in here, so now it's just 5 spawners constantly spawning, because I do have hostile neural networks going in the above. But I'm not gonna give spoilers away for that. You're gonna see that in the next episode. I'm gonna go ahead and show you my mystical agriculture area. This is the only other room that I actually worked on, and it's something that I feel like I may have put a little bit too much work into something that I'm hardly going to see. But once again, I was just kind of feeling like building, and part of building is getting caught up in the details of things and stuff like that. So here we go. And we enter. So this mystical agriculture area has 3 floors to this, and I do have footage for me building this. I do. So initially, the first thing I did is I came in, I made these pathways here, and I made the farmland areas. And speaking of farmland, let me know what items, which mystical agriculture seeds should I grow in here? Which ones should I produce on a massive scale to get these going? Like, I really want to know because I'm just not too sure. So the next thing that I did after I took care of the farmland and the paths is I worked on this like staircase mossy vine thing. I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of supposed to be representing like a vine that you can walk up, almost kind of like, Jack and the Giant Beanstalk kind of deal. But yeah, all I did was I put down like a base square of moss, used the copy and paste gadget, copied and pasted it all the way up into the point where I was like, I kind of want to do this by hand because I want to round it off, make the shape look better than just square. Like square is just, I don't know, too Minecrafty. I don't even know how to like describe it. Like square is just too square. It's too neat. And for something that I want to look overgrown, I need it to be round. So I did it by hand. I used frame blocks as well, like frame slabs and stuff like that but I used frame like slabs and stuff to round it off a little bit, make it a little bit like more of a slowly incline rather than just a steep incline. I could have just left it without the slabs. I have step height, it's no big deal, but I just wanted to make it look a little bit better. And then on top of that, I also used variant blocks by using the botanist workbench, I think is what it's called, by Chipped. You can make, I have like red flowers and blue flowers and different types of moss blocks like that, which I thought was really cool. And I used the same blocks for the walls. The first thing I initially did was I just kind of made them go straight up, but I wasn't too satisfied with that. Going back to like how it's clear, or not clear, square. How it's square and it's too square. Like I'm not satisfied with the too squareness. So I added another layer. So just to add some depth to the wall a little bit, I figured I would go ahead and add another layer, and I used the building wand for that. And when I did that, I also had this wall and that wall to do. And I just kind of was like, I was kind of lost. I didn't know what to do, because on the other side of this is the wall to my center, the center of my base. So I wasn't too sure on what to do for that. So what I ended up using was these framed wall boards, and then I just kind of spammed it with a bunch of these like flowering moss and normal moss and stuff like that. I did the same thing to the ceiling, because I did cover it completely on the top with grass, as you can see here, just completely covering the top so that I can start working on the ceiling. But I did this exact same thing, you know, just kind of spammed it with these framed floorboards and the moss. And I also made it drip down. Some of them drip down a little bit farther than others. Added some of these glow berry vines and stuff like that. I was really happy about that, and I really love the particle effects that you can get from spore blossoms. If you disagree with me, I will have to punch you in the face. All jokes aside, I'm actually really happy with how this room turned out, and this is just the beginning. I worked on the second room, and as you can see, you know, I'm going up my cool little vine staircase here. I made this room a little bit different than the room downstairs. So we go up here, and here it is. I did most of this off stream, on stream. Man, I can't talk today. I did most of this on stream. I just kind of, you know, I don't even know how to describe this. I just put a bunch of random shapes popping in here and there, and I used these framed panels, and then I just used the normal palm leaves, and that's what I used for this, is palm leaves, because they just cover a lot better, you know, like these. There's a lot more holes here in these leaves than there are in these, and that was kind of the whole point. I wanted to completely cover the background, even though the background, if you look, the background is like this light blue, kind of meant to represent the sky a little bit, but you can hardly see it, you know, that's kind of the point though. And on the bottom, I have these flowering azaleas and azaleas going all around the bottom, and I'm really happy with that. What I was initially trying to go for is like a hedge surrounding me completely, but once again, I had it going straight up, and it was too square. So this is what I did to solve that. I was really happy with that. I actually added trees on this floor. I have a banana tree, a banana tree. What's really cool about spore blossoms is that you can put them in the crafting grid, and they can turn into ground spore blossoms, which I think is pretty cool. I've actually added some roses down here. I don't have any flowers down here other than like what's on the moss. No flowers are down here, except for maybe the flowering azaleas a little bit, but I wouldn't even call that flowers. And I looked this design up on the internet. So if you did this design, credit to you. I don't know who you are, but if you did this design, if you came up with this design, I am not taking credit for it whatsoever. So if you want to know how to do it, just go on Google and just look up flower pixel art. That's what I ended up doing. And I initially just had this one flower here in the center, but it was like not enough. So I added more connecting to the original flower all in the corners here, which I was really happy about. And I used these azalea flowers that you can find in Lush Caves. I guess it's from Twigs. Yeah, the Twigs mod. And I'm pretty happy with it, you know? I'm happy with the way this room turned out. I'm not like, you know, the bottom floor is definitely my favorite floor, but I just love that overgrown look. And I do have a third floor to this, and I ended up using an elevator for this instead of making like this staircase continue on to the top. So here it is. Are you ready? Yeah, here it is. It's kind of supposed to represent the outside in a way. We got more farmland and more lily pads of fertility, but this is probably the room that I spent the least amount of time on. But it's actually supposed to be, like, think of it as a 3-dimensional painting. You know, like the ceiling is painted, the clouds are painted, even though they do kind of protrude from the ceiling a little bit. But you know, I'm actually really satisfied with the way this turned out. I'm not like, hey, it's my favorite room in the whole building or anything like that, but I am cool with this being like this, especially if we're not going to see it that often, honestly. I have this chipped glowstone over here, kind of supposed to represent almost like a sunset. There's a sunset going off over there. It doesn't give off that feel whatsoever. It looks completely fake, but that's the point. That's the whole point. Added a bunch of flowers, including some more of these ground spore blossoms. And yeah, once again, please let me know what you think I should do for the seeds in this, because I'm just at a like, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. And feel free to join my Discords. It's in the description below. I actually conversed with some of the guys, some of my viewers in there, and he did mention some seeds that I should grow on, like some of the main gems and ores that you can get from Minecraft alone, you know, like diamonds, netherite, stuff like that. But if you disagree, or if there's any more ideas, we can have one floor do one seed total, or we can have each farmland do a different seed. Just let me know. Just let me know. I want to know. Just let me know. So I tried to make this video as short and to the point as possible. If you want to see the next episode, I'll put it on the screen right now. If you have any questions, I hope you actually got some inspiration from this video as well. But that's pretty much all the work that I did on so far. I want to thank you. If you don't make it to the next episode, I want to thank you for 550 subscribers. We made it to 500 right before the 2024, and I am super grateful for that. Like, it means everything to me. And once again, I hope you got inspiration. I hope you get ideas from this. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. But until next time, I'll see ya.